what has JetBlue's co-founder David Neeleman been up to since departing the airline? Well, he's headed to Brazil, where he has started Azul, which has become the country's third largest airline. Thank you for joining us, David. Nice to see you here.
It's great to be with you, Willow.
Before we talk about all that's going on in Brazil, which I know is plenty, is it tough to watch JetBlue struggle?
Yeah, it is. You know, I mean, on customer metrics, you know, as far as what the customers think of the company, what the crew members think of the company, what the shareholders think of the company, you know, if any one of those was you know, as good as when I left, I'd feel better about it. But you know, it's tough. You know, they got a big job ahead of them. They got a lot of challenges. So.
And bigger picture challenges in the industry. And again, I know you're happily ensconced in an emerging market where it's a whole other picture. But when you look at the industry today, any feeling that you might want to get back in, or too rough, too tough at this point?
You know, Brazil's a huge opportunity for me and for us, and we're having a great time down there. The U.S. market's tough. I mean, you've got big dominant players who have lowered their costs, who've gotten rid of their legacy costs, their pensions. You know, Delta, their merger with Northwest has worked fabulously well. They're dominating. You know, American not only had a cost problem when they filed for bankruptcy, they got a revenue problem as well. So, you know, the size, I think what Delta's proven, and now Continental, United, really matters, and it's working for them. And so you haven't seen a lot of new airlines start up in the United States, and that's not by coincidence. You know, if you take the fuel costs and then the lower costs that they have, the differential isn't that much as it used to be, like when we started JetBlue. And you know, you have to do something completely different, like an Allegiant or a Spirit. One of those guys are doing some things that are interesting. But overall, it's not a right market for new startups. So
let's talk about your startup, Azul. One of the things you did differently was make sure that you had voting control, so that you could run the company and you wouldn't be ousted the way you were at JetBlue. Now that you have that, are you running the company any differently? Are you making decisions any differently?
Well, I think one of the mistakes I made at JetBlue was not keeping, you know, not being close enough to the board and talking to the board every day. So they developed the kind of their own scenario of what was going on, and I had my own, and so those didn't meet. So even though I have 100% voting control of the new airline, I have a great board, I have a great group of shareholders. I talk to them a lot more than I ever did the JetBlue ones. We're all on the same page. You know, we meet together often. We have calls every month. So it's a great group, and you know, I learned a lot from that experience and made sure it didn't happen again. But I don't abuse the fact that I have 100%, because I really value the fact that I put in my own money and they put in their money, so we're in it together. So we're just trying to increase shareholder value and build a great company.
Yeah. So you're the number 3 player in Brazil. How long until you're the number 2 and then potentially number 1? What's the path to get there?
Well, you know, it's interesting because when we came into the market, the two guys dominated 95% of the market. You know, and we've eaten into that, obviously, but not because they've gone down. We've actually built our own business.
I mean, you're really building capacity in the airline business, correct? In Brazil?
Well, we have 60% of our routes. We have no nonstop competition. So, you know, we are really building a new market. There's 30 million more Brazilians traveling since we actually started flying. And you know, I think we're just going to continue to grow. Our competitors now have stopped growing. They're contracting this year. They're not profitable. You know, we're profitable. So I think you know, I don't really care about market share. What I really care about is market share in the markets where I have routes, and in those routes I have a 70% market share.
And you didn't bid, for example, on slots, and I'm going to mispronounce the name of the airport that's one of the biggest and busiest in Brazil. Is that following the same strategy that you followed at JetBlue, which made airports like Long Beach here in California a household name? Yeah,
we're just basically, we went to a market, the interior of Sao Paulo state, and we basically built an amazing hub there, and we have 90% of the business traffic in a very important part of Brazil. So the strategy is really working great. Great.
David Neeleman, life in Brazil appears to be good for you.
Thanks, Willow.
Thank you very much for joining us. We love hearing about Azul.